Welcome to this morning's maths lesson. Today we will be dividing two-digit numbers by one-digit numbers. Before we begin dividing numbers, let's go over today's mental maths. Here are your morning mental maths questions. As you can see, they've been split into three sections: rapid recall, mental strategies, and a bit of previous learning. The rapid recall are intended to be done quite quickly. These are some calculations that you should be able to do in your head. Perhaps that might take a bit of practice, but in time you should be able to do them in your head. The mental strategies, I will do a little bit of teaching on how to answer these questions quickly without having to write anything down. And the previous learning is just a couple of questions from earlier on in the autumn term, and we'll just go over how to do these. Here are the answers to today's mental maths questions. 7 times 3 is 21. 61 add 39 is 100. 12 times 6 is 72. 1300 add 300 is 1600. 900 take away 200 is 700. 20 add 30 is 50. 100 more than 1765 is 1865. 750 add 250 equals 1000. Double 20 equals 40. And 378 is greater than 375. So your arrow needs to be, the large side needs to be facing 378. Imagine if it was a greedy crocodile who wanted to eat the biggest meal. They would sure rather eat 378 than 375. So it should be pointed as if the crocodile is about to gobble up 378. In terms of the mental strategies, when you first look at these, you may think that you need to do some written calculations because the numbers involved are very, very big. They're all 4-digit or large 3-digit numbers. However, if you look closely, you'll see that the difference between each number is actually quite small. So 1000 take away 995. The number 995 is actually very, very close to 1000. So one thing you could do to solve this really quickly is to count backwards in your head from 1000. Here we go. 999, 998, 997, 996, 995. I've counted back 5 steps from 1000 and I've reached 995. Therefore, the answer is 5. The next question involves a bigger 4-digit number, the number 4000. Let's try and do the same thing. You can join me if you like. So counting backwards from 4000, 3999, 3998, 3997, 3996, 3995, 3994, and 3993. That was a bit of a mouthful, but we've gone back 7 steps. So the number 3993 is 7 less than 4000. Finally, our previous learning. Here we've got some 4-digit numbers that we are going to add together. So we always start off by looking at our ones column. The number which we must add to 1 to reach the number 9 is 8. The number which we need to add to 6 to equal 8 in our tens column is 2. In our hundreds, we must add the number 2 to 5 in order to make 7. And finally, in the thousands column, 4 add 2, 4000 add 2000 equals 6000. Finally, you've been given some counters and a place value grid in order to perform the calculation. 3242 add 2213. Once again, we start with our ones column. 2 ones add 3 ones is 5, 5 ones. 4 tens add 1 10 is 5 tens. 2 hundreds add 2 hundreds is 4 hundreds. 3 thousands add 2 thousands is 5 thousands. So our answer to this question is 5,455. After we've marked our mental maths, I'd like to start each maths lesson with an oral starter activity. This means that we're going to speak some maths, or possibly chant it, or sing it, or rhyme it. Who knows, we'll see how it goes. To start with today, we are going to simply count, and we are going to count in multiples of 4. Count with me the numbers on this page. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. This time we're going to count in multiples of 4 ping pong style. I'll say the first number, which is going to be 4, then you'll fill in the gap. Your first number, which you'll say is 8. I'll then say the next number in the sequence, you say the next number in the sequence. Let's see how we can do. 4, 12, 20, 28, 36, 44. Was your last number 48? This is something you could practice at home. Is there someone at home who would count ping pong style with you? When we do division, what we are doing is sharing. We are looking to divide the amount we have into a number of equal groups. For example, if you had 10 sweets and there were 2 children, you'd want to make sure that each child got the same amount of sweets. Perhaps you could imagine the arguments you might have if those sweets weren't divided equally. You've probably been able to divide that in your head. It's quite a simple one. So if you had 10 sweets and 2 children, each child would get 5 sweets. We're going to move on to looking at some slightly larger numbers. The calculation that we're going to do, that I'm going to demonstrate to you, is 84 divided by 4. I'm going to use a website. It's called mathspot.com, and I've left the link at the bottom of the screen. And the really useful thing about this website is it gives you some interactive place value counters, and these are ideal to help us as we start to learn division. Here you can see what the website looks like. In the top left corner, there are some place value counters. There's a 1, a 10, a 100 and a 1000. And you can make as many copies of these as you like. To solve 84 divided by 4, the first thing we need to do is assemble our place value counters. Given that there are 8 tens in 84, I'm going to select 8 tens. To make this easier, I can use the copy function. The next thing to do is to select 4 ones. This will give us 84 in total. Next, we have to divide the tens into 4 equal groups. This leaves us with our 4 ones, which we share equally amongst the 4 groups. We can now see that the 84 has been divided equally amongst the 4 groups. There are 2 10s and a 1 in each group. That means that our answer to 84 divided by 4 is 21. Try practicing with these calculations. 39 divided by 3, 48 divided by 4, and 88 divided by 8. You may use the website that I've just shown you. Alternatively, you could draw a diagram on a piece of paper if you prefer. Here are your maths questions for today. You may like to use the website that I've just used to help you with your calculations. Here is your problem-solving activity for today. It says, 3 children have answered 90 divided by 5. Bill's come up with the answer 15, Jane says it's 9, Tom's saying it's 18. Out of those children, who is correct? Provide an explanation, 1, 2 sentences. How do you know that that person is correct? You may wish to consider the inverse operation. In other words, can you use multiplication to solve this?